Truck. Stay in the truck. Stay in the truck.
Excuse me, sir. Mama! I'm a minor. Mama! She's in there.
Move your
Mama!
leg. Move your leg.
Mama! What are you
Shut
doing?
your mouth, dude.
Mama! I'm calling my mother.
How old are you?
I'm 17.
Okay.
Get your hands off me before my mom comes out here and up. She's gonna call the cops. There's a camera right there in my window. In my window. You are being
Give me your
recorded.
other hand.
You are being recorded.
Give me your other
You are
hand.
being recorded, sir.
Give me
On
your other
my
hand.
bedroom window.
Give me your other hand.
Here, you hit me. I'm 17 years old. Bro.
Okay.
You hit me. You're
I don't
doing
care
it.
how old you are.
Mama! I'm not throwing them at you. I'm throwing them at my mom's window.
Be throwing.
Stop.
Give me your other hand
Stop.
behind your back.
Stop.
Give me your hand
Stop.
behind your back.
Stop, sir. Please stop.
Give me your hand behind
Please
your back.
stop.
I'm gonna pepper spray you.
I love that.
Shut your mouth.
Mama, he won't leave me alone. He's hurting me, Mama. Mama. Mama.
Shut your mouth.
Mama, he's hurting me. Mama, he's hurting me. He's hurting me,
Ma'am,
Mama. He's
stay back in there.
Mama, he's hurting
Stay back in there.
I don't know, Mama. I didn't do nothing. He just came up here.
Stay back. Stay back there. I'll explain it to you in a minute. I'll make it explain with him screaming.
I came in here and parked and he came behind me. I didn't even do nothing. And
All
then
our
he came
video.
up to my window and he grabbed me out my window, Mama. And there's tell him there's a camera, bro. You've seen everything, bro. Tell him about your camera,
Good.
bro.
Good.
I got you recorded on camera, right?
Good. I got a camera going too.
Okay, thank you.
The whole time.
Okay, thank you. Now get your handcuffs off me. I'm 17.
I don't care that you're mad.
Nigga, me and my girlfriend just got into it. You grab me like that? Grab me like that? Yeah. Do it. Do it. Choke me. Kill me, mother. Kill me, mother. Kill me. Kill me. Yeah.
Ma'am, I'm not choking anybody.
Yes, you are.
Trying to get in my face. Charlie 30, hold traffic.
No, I'm not doing nothing. I can't breathe. I had to get that out of my mouth.
10-6 6400.
Turn around.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't breathe, sir.
Oh, I can't breathe either.
What's up, my family? What's up?
No.
Oh my God, you people are killing me with the videos you sent. This is PBM, right? And this is PBM presents another episode of Old School Cops, right? Is when we three, or whoever I have in the car with me, get together and give our assessments based on our training experience in law enforcement. This particular three-man unit, right, has some really good police officers, right? Really good guys with really good experience. I have the OG 10. I'm sorry, my baby.
You'll be all right.
I'm sorry, my family. I'm sorry, but this video was as funny. Real quick, right? Let me just don't get the experience. Let me get everybody's experience out so people understand why listening to us without training experience is a lot more legit than a lot of these people out here on these platforms. I got the OG of law enforcement. I call him the OG of law enforcement because he's been policing when I was in junior high school, right? And he has a lot of experience in law enforcement, right? So he's my go-to. He really is, because not only he's from the community, so he understands the culture and the people, he understands law enforcement. He was a city cop, did so well on a local level, he went and became a Fed. He was a DEA agent. He did really well. He got a lot of accolades for outstanding police work. And my other partner over here, he is also from the community, so he understands the culture and the people. And when I say that's a plus when you in law enforcement. Understanding the culture and the people that you're policing, I can tell you that beats any suburban cop that has a master's, a doctorate in policing. You need somebody who understands the people for you to effectively police them correctly. So this particular, we all have it. This particular, I messed up your introduction. So Tone, he's riding with us tonight too. So he's been on the job. He actually was a detective. He has a lot of experience investigating gangs. He was a youth violence gang investigator. He did some sergeant work. He was an excellent police officer. He did actual burglary. Somebody broke in your house, home invasions. When the officer get there, responds, they bring out the specialists to come in and dust for prints, grab any type of evidence that you can grab when it comes down to breaking into somebody's house. He made some real outstanding arrests during that time of law enforcement. As you can see, this particular video, right? I just was laughing because I just didn't even understand what the cop was doing. We all had stopped somebody that tried to get out the car. Everybody has done that as a police officer. Everybody has experienced this type of actions from a citizen that you pulled over. You try to get out the car, you get back in the car, you go, you have a conversation with him. If you got to get him out the car, I don't even understand. And y'all, we all worked different agencies, got different training, different experiences. You guys tell me, you sit somebody's sitting in the driver's side, right? You grab one hand, you cuff them, and then inside the car, you tell them to give me your other hand. We're trained to look at hands, right? Because that's where you're going to get hurt at. Somebody grabbing a weapon. You see his hands, you're telling him now to put his hands out of view of your sight. So he has to reach behind his back along the middle console where most people have weapons, most people have guns, to cuff him, keep him in the vehicle, then spray mace in his face while he's sitting. He gets into a back and forth. When he sprays the mace, the individual takes the mace that was in his mouth and spits it back into the officer's eyes. Now the officer is standing there with his eyes burning from the subject spitting the mace that the officer sprayed on him while he was sitting in the vehicle, cuffed. And then he gets on a radio, hold the air. Hold the air. And for people who don't understand this, you want radio silence because something that the officer is going through, it requires a high level of silence, because if he needs to get on the radio, he don't need to try to hurry up and jump in and talk over somebody. He needs a one-on-one with the dispatcher. He's saying, hold the air, radio. What I got going on right now is so dangerously high, I might need to jump on the radio and ask for some help. So when you hear that, as other officers, you're kind of tuning in like, oh, what the hell is going on? Why is he saying hold the air? So now officers who knows his location is really flying now to assist him because they know where he's at. Now you're trying to hurry up, get to him. It's like, why is he holding the air? You just don't hold the air just to hold the air. That's normally a high level of danger that is existing that this officer's experience. Now you see a lot of times officers hit people, hit cars, have accidents. I would hate to be the officer driving to assist this idiot of an officer get into a wreck and then watch this video. I would want to just beat the hell out that officer because I'm trying to go and assist this officer because his life seems to be really at a high alert of danger. And he was just doing some idiot shit. Like, I don't like Ted, you're the godfather of the show. Have you seen this? Ted have seen everything in law enforcement. That's why I like when he's on the show. If he hasn't directly been involved, he's seen it firsthand. He has a story that can match any story that any officer has ever told. Have you ever seen this right here, Ted?
I've never seen a cop tell the guy to close the door and go back in the car. Once you're out, I need you to come out, show me your hands. I want to see your hands. And my first question, though, is this. Where's the rest of the video? You know, show me Special at 2127 First Street with a black male in a Chevy truck, speeding, whatever, disregarded red light. Say something. Right. But to walk up to the fellow like that and to close the door, no. You let him come out the car and assume the position. And you don't waste your time with a can of mace. You need both hands because most of us are right-handed, right? Where's your gun? Where's your gun? Right hand. Where's the spray? In the right hand.
Right.
Okay.
On his gun hand. His gun hand.
Useless. What you spraying him for? Is he being irate? Is he spitting at you? Is he calling you names? He talking about your mama? What's he doing to cause you to put handcuffs on him, first of all? Because, you know, where I come from, when you put handcuffs on them, they're going to jail. That's
Right.
That's
Yours.
it. There's no, oh, for my safety, I'm going to handcuff you. No. When you come out the car, I want you to put your hands on the car. I want you to step back. I'm going to spread your legs. I'm going to pat you down for my safety. Now, son, what are you doing? Where are you going? That kind of thing. And then he's calling for his mama. You know what? If he's calling for his mama, that's the next thing warning you get. Look, I need to straighten up and find. Okay, you calling your mama. When your mama comes out here, we'll have a discussion. Just stand right here. I'm not gonna put no handcuffs on you. I'm not gonna spray that stuff in your mouth in front of your mama. Now I got a witness that shows that I sprayed at 7. I'm 17 years old. I sprayed at 7. No, come on, man. We got to do better than this. And then the worst part about it is he's by himself, Joe. Mm-hmm. Ain't nobody with him. I mean, it is what it is, but there have been occasions when I had folks stay in the car until I get a backup here. Just stay right there in the car. Turn the ignition off, your car ignition off. Either put them on the dash or just drop them out the window because I don't want you going anywhere. That kind of thing for your own personal safety. I worked the midnight shift. Okay, it was always black dark out there. And
right.
This man, I'm sorry. He gets a flat F in everything because he did nothing right from the beginning. Wherever he got that training from, he needs to go back and get training again or get his money back because they didn't get him ready for the real life. Because under different circumstances, he might have been fighting for his life. But thank God it was a 17-year-old who was crazy about his mama, right?
Yeah. And you know what? You made a good point that I think the audience need to understand, right? When your threat level or your fear level or the spidey senses start to just elevate, you're normally a lot more safety aware. And what I mean by that is like you say, I'm getting back in the car. I'm calling for another unit. I'm going to maybe step back, try to buy some time. For him to be nonchalant, that means looking at this incident, he didn't observe this kid as a real danger. He didn't observe him as the threat level was high. He was nonchalant. He was talking. It looked like a scene from Reno 911. It didn't really look real. Like he just casually walked up to the guy, get back in. First he had his gun out, then he put the gun back. He's talking to him. He got into an argument. I was like, I was listening to the back and forth conversation. I was like, if you just covered the camera and didn't know who was the cop and who was the civilian, you couldn't tell based on just hearing it because the officer didn't even make sense to me. He didn't make no sense at all. Go ahead, Tony. Close it out, man, because I don't even know what to say about this Reno 911.
I'll close it out, but you and Ted pretty much covered it. He exercised no verbal commands. And what he did was he escalated the situation. In fact, he escalated and to, you know, you said Reno 911. I was thinking more of a naked gun. And the reason being, right, in all my years of law enforcement, I've never known a police officer to try and handcuff somebody through a window. Where did that come from? What kind of training was that? You know, you're pointing a gun saying get back in the car, and then you're saying get out of the car. He was more confused than the kid. And I think it was his verbal commands. Actually, it was more like it was threatening commands. You listen to me, do what I tell you. And he didn't take into account the kid's age, him possibly being, you know, scared. But I hope there's an investigation that explains. I don't even know how you explain that. You know, I don't even know. As a police supervisor, a sergeant, the training field, whoever, I'd be embarrassed to air this case because it was horrible. It was horrible. You could have got that kid out. You could have talked to him. I'd have had that kid so comfortable talking to me. He wouldn't have called his mama. I guarantee you that. He wouldn't have called her. He'd have been comfortable. I'd have got that rapport with him. Yeah. He wouldn't have called her. You know what I'm saying?
But he was screaming.
That was horrible. That was horrible. And then you put yourself in a position where the kid spits. You know, he's using the wrong. Why is he even touching the can of mace? I don't even know why he's even touching it.
No,
You know,
What?
I could have got that kid out of the car with no problems, with no incident, and we'd have talked. He'd have gave me his information, and what I wrote him, I don't even know. I don't even know why he's even stopped.
Right. It looked like
Was
a
he
basic
speeding?
traffic stop, right? And
A
what got
traffic
me
stop.
is let me ask you guys something. And Ted, you probably will know because you've been policing since the buggy days. Has it ever been a time in history, right, that you use, and when I say in history, when I'm asking a question where we're talking about legally, that policy or the law supports to where you can use force like this that we see here and not arrest somebody? Like he cuffs them, he makes him. How do you do that and the person's not under arrest? How do you that's a use of force. Use of force is normally accompanied
when you put your
with an arrest.
When you put your hands on them, they go to jail. Now he sprayed this guy. He ain't got no choice but to take him to jail now because he used something that's supposed to render him defenseless. Okay,
right.
So he's got to first of all justify why he stopped him. Then he's got to justify why he sprayed him. Did he bite you? Did he kick you? Did he gouge your eyes out? I mean, did he put his finger up your nose and dig out your boogers? What did he do to cause you to spray him? The video clearly shows that there was hardly any resistance, not enough resistance to make a difference. Because, Joe, once you get one arm, and you got a handcuff on it, what do they teach you how to do? Yeah. That's your come along. That's your come along. Come on. Yep. Let's come on in the car.
That is definitely it.
Even worse than that, Joe, the mere fact that the boy was calling his mama, that should have been enough for them to go, you know what, let me take this down a few notches, okay? All right, young fella, let's just calm down. It's going to be okay. Turn your ignition off. Let's just have a little conversation here, okay? We're just going to talk. You don't have to call your mama, even though she probably heard you. It's going to be okay. Instead, he sprayed the boy in his mouth with that friggin' CS spray or whatever it was, and he got it back in his face. Then you're going to call the radio and cause 100 folk to have wrecks coming to rescue you, and they're going to get there, and when you say he spit that shit in the mouth, they're going to start, look, they're just going to start laughing on the scene. They're going to look phones too. They're going to start recording and shit.
Yes. Like I just didn't understand. Like I'm using force on somebody that I'm not arrested. I was confused. Hey, Tone, you did some sergeant work. Can you imagine that mother coming up to the precinct, asking for a supervisor, and you get there and you see exactly, it's explained to you exactly what happened. You pull this officer's body cam. What are you going to think now after seeing the events as a sergeant? What do you do to this officer?
He's going to have some problems. He's going to have some problems. Back in the day, before technology, we pretty much know how the story was written. He's going to say resisting arrest, and that's why he used the use of force with the spray, and the kid's going to get charged. And unfortunately, he would have been found guilty, But now with the new technology, it's a game changer. They try, and it's unfortunate, but now what you see a lot in policing, it's starting to change slowly, but written reports aren't matching video camera. So a lot of people saying, I can't rock with that. You know what I'm saying? You're on your own. So now you're starting to see, it's sad that it has to take this for officers to do the right thing. It's so unfortunate, but we hold an oath, and we've received the training. And I don't know in any manual or any training in the United States where that's how you handle a traffic stop. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yes. He'd have done better. He'd have done better. Hey, in that situation, it was so embarrassing. Wipe that stuff out your eyes and let the kid go. Because I don't want to go forward with this because I look stupid. I look totally stupid.
I'd be curious to know if he arrested him. After all that, did he arrest him at all? Because
that didn't make no
video in front of a judge. You show that video in front of a judge.
Yeah,
he's gonna say, he's gonna say, "Come here, officer. I got something for you."
Yeah. Minimize your problem because you got problems one way or another. You got problems. Minimize it. Uncuff that kid. Say, man, we both got off on the wrong foot. You
Yeah,
go your way, I
yeah.
go mine. Ma, just make sure you keep him out of trouble.
Yeah,
like there's
yeah.
nothing you like. Just minimize it. You can't even
Yeah.
go
She got
with
the blackmail tape.
Hey,
yeah.
resisting
Hey,
arrest.
hey. Tell Ma, hey, ask Ma when you finish washing his eyes out, can you wash mine out? And everything is even Steven, and we good. We good to go.
Like that is
Just
so
give some
bad.
Vaseline, he'll be all right.
That is so
Give him
bad.
some Vaseline, he'll be all right.
Before I close this one out, I got a question for both of y'all. This applies to both of y'all. You guys, we all been around for a very long time with Ted having the longest, right? So we've seen a lot. We've seen a lot of changes since we even been on when it comes down to how the culture of policing has changed. As of right now, do you see, like, can law enforcement be fixed like right now? And what will it take to fix it? Like, it is a good job. It really is a good job. But we're in a bad stage right now. This is the worst I've ever seen law enforcement. I really honestly believe like it's really bad. Can we fix law enforcement, and what you think it'll take? Go ahead, Ted.
21st century policing that Obama did, I think, said a lot for what needs to be done. It's called community policing. It has to be that way. We have to be present in the community. We've got to be a part of these folks' lives, not just when things are bad. We got to be there when things are good. And we've got to at least support the idea that this is a good job, that you can. I retired at 54 years old. That's after 28 years with DEA and 3 years as a cop. So it lets you know that you can walk out the door and I get a pension for the rest of my life. There are guys here in Atlanta that I work with that are in their 80s. They've been retired 30 years and they're still getting that pension plus some. And one of them's getting actually 2 retirements. He was on the board of pardons and paroles here in Atlanta for 14 years. So he's taking home 300 plus every year. So we have to be in the community. We have to recruit from within. We got to go out here and find some folk that want to take this job, because if we find people who live here and work here, we want them to live, work, and play right here where they're policing at. Because when you come from the outside and you come into this thing and you get to divorce yourself from it every night, you don't really understand it. But when you go to church, you go to the grocery store, you take your kids to school, your kids are on the basketball team or the football team, and you're present because you're a part of the community. People know you for being a human being first and a police officer second. Okay, they know they can come to you for safety, but they also can come to you when things aren't quite right. Example, got a barking dog down the street, 4:30 in the morning, the dog is yapping. They've already complained, but they don't know how to complain like Ted Golden knows how to complain. So when I wrote that mess up and sent it to the right political people, I got like 10 emails back, and guess what? Dogs are gone. They moved out in less than 2 weeks after I wrote that stuff up. So there's an advantage to having somebody in the community that lives in your neighborhood, that totes a badge and a gun, and is part of the community. You know?
Yeah, yeah. I agree. The only thing that I didn't like about the Obama's version of policing, it was a recommendation. It wasn't enforced. It wasn't being made. Like I wish it was a standard. And I understand the jurisdiction. You know, on the federal level, he can't make the local police, a state agency, do anything he wants, but he can, because he could, as we see, Trump now, he pulls money away. He could say, look, either you do things my way, or you know, I don't send you no money. So there was ways that it could have been done, but that recommendation, which was a lot of good things that would really change the game of policing, but the departments wasn't made to follow it. It was just nothing but a recommendation. And it should have been written stone. It should have been, look, you want federal grant money, you play by my rules. And that's should have been like the mandate across the board. Go ahead, Tom.
Okay, so we have to get rid of, let's stop. The focus should not be academics, right? Let's get rid of academics. The focus should be on how do we get this officer in who's best apt to understand, like I said, when something is happening that is dangerous, when there's a threat, how do we gauge fear? We have to develop something that addresses those issues, right? Another thing is what's really scary about now is how Trump rolled back accountability. You know how offices, they had the database where you couldn't go from one department to another because your history and that. He wiped that out with DOJ. That is not improving. We want to, you know what? We want more accountability. If the office is doing everything right, he's covered. We got his back. When he's doing wrong, he's a problem child. You know, that was a huge problem. And again, what you all both talked about is reaching in the communities. We have to have more stuff. You know, when I was in high school, and Ted, you were in policing, but when I was in high school, NYPD came to my high school, right? And they had a week seminar with us on, you know, doing the right thing in your community, being respectful to your parent, understanding what law enforcement does. And if you want to be a police officer, we want you and we need you. And I thought that was awesome. And that really, really motivated me. And we need more of that. We need more of those type of programs, you know, more programs.
Yeah.
And what I've done in the past here in DeKalb County, we did what's called Conversation with Cops. We went into 5 South Precinct high schools. We surveyed about 378, 77 high school students, 5 pre-questions, 5 post-questions. And what we got was something that I think told the tale about who we are. Over 80% of those students wanted to get involved in making their community safer. Over 70% want to have more conversations with cops. Most of them had not had any negative contact with law enforcement. Most of what they understood about law enforcement came from social media. So, you know, we're on the cusp of it, but here's the thing that we're not doing. We got to talk to them. We got to get information from them. Then we got to go back in and have the second conversation about why it's necessary for us to be here in the first place and how you can help me to help you. Because I don't care how you look at it. In 10 years, the same folk that are in your school selling dope, the same guys that are breaking in buildings right now are going to be out here on these streets, and they're going to see you. They're going to know who you are. And if we have an impression on them now, maybe, just maybe they'll get the message and start going in the other direction, because once they get to high school, it's almost too late. They've already set themselves in stone. I mean, nothing's more embarrassing than walking into a high school bathroom and Ted Golden, retired DEA agent, walks into a high school bathroom and interrupts a drug deal, not in just one high school, in 2. And that's embarrassing. I have no arrest authority now. So what I had to say was, if you're not here to use the bathroom, get out. And of course they did it. But it's not a good place right now in our communities, because once they control the community, we're done. There's not enough cops now to do anything except respond to the call. You know, and respond.
No, go ahead, Ted.
I said responding late, by the way. When our cops come in on duty where I live here in South DeKalb, they're 22 calls down. Dang. They are 22 calls. They can't go to the bathroom. They don't have time to write reports. And then in some instances, when it's not an emergency, like one lady called them and they broke in her car, they never showed up. She finally called a precinct 2 days later and said, well, what's going on? They said, we can take a report over the phone. She said, why didn't they come? Or at least call me back and tell me they weren't coming. You know, and that's unfortunate, because what happens is people get a bad idea about the cops. And, you know, we have to begin to be accountable for what we do, but we also got to be smart about how we do things, because the videos that we're looking at tell the tale. Untrained, unskilled, uncooperative, and definitely not concerned about the consequences of their actions.
Yeah.
You know what?
Go ahead, Tom.
And to what Ted was just saying about untrained, I'd like to see some of the manuals of what these, you know, the SOPs, the standard operating procedural manuals, on what they're training versus what they're doing, because that really, really looks troublesome. It really looks troublesome. And there's a nationwide shortage of police officers because of various types of reasons. I think up here in New York, we're down like about 3,000 or 4,000 cops, you know. But another big important thing is this bail reform. You know, this needs to be really, really looked at. We have to give the police officers the tools they need, and we really got to take away motivating things and factors for criminals to continue doing what they do. And right now, the way things are, it's not good. You know, it's really dangerous. So that really needs to be addressed on maybe a national level. A job, maybe not so much of a national level, but by jurisdiction, because different communities are going to have different problems.
Right.
You know, so, but it has to be done where there should be some sort of a standard where you don't commit a robbery and you're out on your signature, you know. So there's a lot of important things. We're talking about changing policing right now. Accountability for officers, consistency with their training, if they have the right training, like Ted was saying, and just, you know, that bail reform. But we got to start thinking now, because when I was in that YVI unit, the Youth Violence and Addiction Unit, which was a federally funded unit, and Ted, we would go to the schools, and all we did was look for drugs and guns. And guess what? In all the schools, we were finding drugs and guns. And it's sad and it's scary. And you're talking about back in the late 80s and 90s, and here we are, you know, 21st century, and it's a problem. It's a problem. And people, and you know what? Everybody got to take it seriously. Everybody got to take it seriously.
Yeah, it is, man. It's definitely an issue that needs to be addressed. Like I tell you guys, man, please, on that side of the road, man, the officer has home court advantage, and take your fight to the courtroom. Officers are now like you've never seen in the past. They're getting terminated. They're getting charged. They're getting arrested. They're getting suspended. Like, you see more disciplinary being done to officers for bad behavior like you've never seen before. I know the system is not exactly where it should be, but you do start to see, we are starting to see accountability being held, and we need even more accountability. So please be safe, and I'll see you next video.